And now for our next news special report.
Tonight I bring you a story that will grip your heart. Imagine a typical Christmas Eve, lights twinkling, gifts wrapped, a family together. But in Florida, this picture-perfect holiday scene turned into a nightmare. A dispute over Christmas gifts between siblings escalated beyond imagination. Tragically, it ended with a young girl's life snuffed out, allegedly by her own brother. This isn't just a story of a family torn apart. It's a shocking reminder of the consequences of unchecked emotions and the alarming reality of youth violence in our nation. What could drive a brother to turn on his own sister? How did a festive celebration morph into a scene of horror? As we delve into this, remember what happened in Florida could happen anywhere. And don't miss the end of this report, where I will share my final thoughts on why this tragedy is a wake-up call for every American. And before we dive deeper into this tragic story, let me share something crucial with you. In a world where unpredictability is the only certainty, protecting oneself is paramount. And that's where the VNSH holster comes in. It's not just a symbol of self-defense, but of preparedness. Much like the unfortunate situation in Florida, where a lack of control led to irreversible consequences, the VNSH holster represents control and safety in an often chaotic world. It's adaptable, fitting 99% of handguns, crafted from innovative no-stink material, and here's a chance to win a Jeep Gladiator and $25,000 in gold. So secure your VNSH holster now for $40 off and get 120,000 bonus entries in our massive giveaway. The offer ends December 31st, so stay prepared, stay safe, and now back to our report. It happened in a quiet neighborhood in Largo, Florida. Typical Christmas Eve, shattered by a tragedy that will resonate across America. A dispute over holiday gifts between two teenage brothers just a year apart ended with their 23-year-old sister, Abrielle Baldwin, fatally shot and their family torn apart. This incident, unfolding in a place of warmth and festive cheer, highlights the devastating consequences of youth violence and the urgent need to address gun safety in our communities. In this clip from Fox 13 Tampa Bay, you'll witness the raw, unfiltered aftermath of this harrowing event. Sheriff Bob Galtieri's account paints a vivid picture of the events leading to the fatal shooting, shedding light on the complex dynamics that turned a family argument into a national tragedy. Watch.
23-year-old mother of two is dead after being shot by her own brother on Christmas Eve. Abrielle Baldwin was trying to break up an argument between her siblings when one of them pulled out a gun. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank reports on what has the sheriff furious and the changes he is now calling for.
Photos Abrielle Baldwin posted to social media show her filled with joy.
She's just a woman going about life, doing her thing with her two kids, trying to make a living, trying to make it.
On Christmas Eve, while at her grandmother's home on 22nd Avenue in Largo, she'd had enough of her brothers bickering. DeMarcus and Darcus began pulling guns on one another.
Abrielle told DeMarcus, quote, "You all need to leave that stuff alone. Why are you trying to start it? It's Christmas."
They both had been fighting over Christmas presents, with the 15-year-old Darcus jealous that their mom had spent more on gifts for 14-year-old DeMarcus. After Abrielle stepped in, DeMarcus pulled a gun and fired, killing her and sending her son and his nephew, an 11-month-old, falling to the ground. Then, Darcus pulled his own gun and shot DeMarcus, leaving him badly injured.
This proliferation of guns on the streets and guns in this area and guns in the hands of these kids, this is the worst I've ever seen it. I don't think we've ever seen it this bad.
The sheriff says the area around 22nd Avenue in Largo has been subject to extra patrols lately, with 13 gun-related incidents since September. He says his office has gotten reports of 17 guns stolen from unlocked cars. He suspects the guns used in this shooting were obtained that way.
And people can't leave their car doors unlocked and leave their guns in their cars. It's got to stop.
Further, the sheriff says both juveniles have been let off the hook too easily by the juvenile justice system, particularly DeMarcus, who has a history of violence against school staff and law enforcement. The sheriff is calling for tougher laws.
They are not getting the consequences that they should get that keep them from doing it again and again and again.
Abrielle was only 23, and now her kids, an 11-month-old and a 6-year-old, will have to grow up without her. Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
Such a sad story. Now, the day's events began innocuously enough with the family, including the two brothers, their mother, sister Abrielle, and her two young sons shopping for Christmas gifts. However, what should have been a joyous occasion quickly devolved into a heated argument over the gifts being purchased. As the sheriff stated in the press conference, the dispute was over who was getting what and how much money was being spent on who. Returning to their grandmother's house, tensions escalated further. Both brothers, armed, continued their argument. The younger 14-year-old brother, in a moment of heated rage, threatened to shoot his elder sibling. Abrielle attempted to defuse the situation, stepping in, imploring them to remember the spirit of the holiday, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. A shocking turn of events, the 14-year-old allegedly shot Abrielle in the chest while she held her baby in a carrier. She tragically succumbed to her injuries, leaving behind her two sons, and seconds later the older brother reacted by shooting the younger one in the stomach. The 14-year-old was unarmed when shot by his brother, adding a complex layer to this already tragic story. The 15-year-old fled the scene, discarding his weapon, which was later found in a nearby yard. He was apprehended at a relative's house, and the two brothers are now in custody, their futures uncertain, entangled in the criminal justice system. The sheriff's concern over the missing gun and the ease of gun access for these youths is a chilling reminder of the larger issue plaguing our society. In the instant, it's not just a family tragedy, it's a mirror reflecting the troubling issues of gun accessibility and youth violence in America. How did these teenagers, already known to law enforcement for prior offenses, easily obtain firearms? Well, this question haunts our communities, demanding immediate attention and action. But there's more to the story than just gun control. The breakdown of communication within the family and the apparent lack of effective conflict resolution skills are equally concerning. What leads to such a catastrophic failure in a family setting, where an argument over something as trivial as gifts escalates to murder? It underscores the importance of nurturing healthy family dynamics and providing mental health support. Abrielle Baldwin's death is not just a statistic, it's a profound loss, a young mother taken from her children in a senseless act of violence. Her story is a stark reminder of the human cost of such tragedies, the irreplaceable loss experienced by her family, and the ripple effect it has on the community. Now the legal system takes over. The 14-year-old faces potential adult charges of first-degree murder, while the 15-year-old is charged with attempted first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. He's currently in a mental health facility, having expressed self-harm intentions. These proceedings will undoubtedly be closely watched as the community seeks justice and closure. As we digest the details of this heart-wrenching story, it's critical to reflect on the broader implications. This incident is a stark reminder of the need for responsible gun ownership and the critical importance of family communication and mental health support. It's a call to action for all of us to engage in creating safer, more understanding and supportive communities. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe, stay informed, and engage with the critical issues that impact our nation and your community. Now, tonight's story, a tragic one from Largo, Florida, is more than just a report on a family torn apart on Christmas Eve. It's a stark reminder of the challenges facing our republic. This isn't just a dispute over Christmas gifts, it's a reflection of deeper societal issues, the impact of family dynamics, the alarming accessibility of firearms to our youth, and the urgent need for effective communication and mental health support in our families. As we ponder over Abrielle Baldwin's untimely death, we're reminded of the fragility of life and the paramount importance of values like understanding and restraint in our daily interactions. This tragedy is a wake-up call for all Americans to reflect on how we nurture our youth, manage conflicts within our families, and ensure responsible gun ownership. It's not just a story, it's a lesson in what we value as a nation and how we must come together to safeguard our future and the legacy that we leave behind.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.